time for the final budget hearing for Indian River County for the 2019-2020 fiscal year. We're going to begin with a moment of silent reflection for first responders. This will be followed by an invocation by Vice Chairman Susan Adams and the Pledge of Allegiance led by Peter O'Brien. Please rise.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, today we seek blessings on the tasks before us. Bless our efforts with clear insight, our deliberations with wisdom, our work with clarity and accuracy, and our decisions with impartiality. We ask this in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. We're going to begin tonight's adventure through the Indian River County budget with a budget overview by County Administrator Jason Brown. Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're here today for the 2019-2020 fiscal year budget. Just want to give a brief overview of the budget. I have 47 slides here with me.
We'll let you show 4.
That's my bad. That's
now
my
a word
bad.
from the ex-county administrator.
Oh, okay, I'll shorten it now. So the proposed 1920 budget is $367,725,135. That is a decrease of about $31.3 million from our March 31st budget of $399 million. However, it is an increase of $27.8 million from our beginning 2018-19 budget of $339,878,868. Some of the major factors impacting the budget are we had a 7% tax roll increase countywide. As you know, we have 3 different taxing districts that have different tax rolls and different rates. So we had a 7% increase countywide in the MSTU. In the unincorporated area is a little under 7%, 6.97, and we were a little over 7% in the emergency services district. Sheriff funding, as we've discussed before, the sheriff makes up the largest expenditure in the general fund as appropriate, as public safety is the top priority. However, his budget does impact our general fund. As the sheriff's budget goes, so goes the general fund. So that we have a recommended increase of $3.3 million as agreed to by the sheriff. Based on some negotiations, he had requested an initial increase of $3.8 million, and he and I came to a tentative agreement, so I thank the sheriff for that. At a $3.3 million increase, we're continuing funding for the school resource officers at a 50-50 split with the school district. Children's services, this is the final year of the 3-year phase-in to get back to the full 1/8 of a mil for children's services. The impact on the budget is an increase in funding of $397,146, or a little under 24%. As we've discussed previously, health insurance is a large impact on the budget. We've had some increased health care expenses, nothing that the rest of the world is a stranger to. However, the impact on the budget is $1.9 million. We are increasing premiums on the employees as well, so they're bearing an additional burden as well. So we're sharing that between the employer, which is funded by the taxpayers, and our employees. So we're continuing with our deferred maintenance as we reported on earlier this year. We've completed a lot of deferred maintenance and replacement capital from the downturn. However, we have a little more to go. This budget includes over $11 million in deferred maintenance and capital overall. In the taxing funds, it's about $1.1 million. One of the key features of this year's budget is the increased investment in conservation lands. As you know, we had 2 bond issues where the voters approved $76 million to purchase environmental and historic lands. We have purchased those, however, we had not made the initial improvements that we needed to provide access to the public. We have been working on that, but as we create those access improvements, we also have to maintain them, and we have to maintain the lands. So we are adding 2 additional conservation land techs. This is the first dedicated field crews that we've had in conservation lands. We've always kind of begged and borrowed from the Parks Division maintenance folks, so we're finally going to have a dedicated crew there. So I think that's a big thing, and a commitment to those lands that I think are an amenity for the community, and with ecotourism, those are important as well. The next thing is we have an additional ambulance proposed for Station 5. I always go by the numbers because I'm a numbers nerd, right? But Station 5, for everyone's information, is the Winter Beach station on US 1 there, so in the central part of the county. If anybody who drives through that area will see that there's been a lot of growth in that area, and we've had an increase in med calls in the county overall, and that station currently does not have an ambulance. We're adding one there that requires 7 additional positions, and the annual cost is $526,729. Utilities department staff is increasing staffing to help manage the growing utility, and also a lot of those renewal and replacement and catch-up projects are in utilities. Some folks to manage those projects so we can get them out the door and continue to make those investments in the utility. We're focusing on technology and cybersecurity, so we have an IT director position recommended, where we will also bring 3 different departments that are under different management areas under one umbrella. GIS was on its own previously. Information systems was standalone, and telecommunications was part of Public Works. And these 3 areas really need to be working together. It's all technology, it's all interrelated, and so that's going to come under the umbrella of the IT director, and we can continue our increased focus on cybersecurity. It seems like every time you turn around, you see another article about some city or some county or some private company that's had a ransomware attack, and so we're trying to do what we can to avoid that. Our total increases for the BCC departments are 37 positions from the current year budget. I will point out that is still 90 below the number that we had in 2007. Those new positions do cost a little under $2.6 million, 3 additional positions in the constitutional officers. Something that's not here, but that we want to talk about is the solid waste charge for the SWIT assessment. As we talked about last week, we had put on an additional $51 to potentially consider mandatory garbage collection to address a recycling contamination issue that we have had per previous meetings and discussion with the board in August, and based on limitations with our hauler, we are not moving forward with that. So that $51 has been removed from the final recommendation. So the amount that will be recommended is about $120 per home instead of the $171 that appeared on the trim notices. So with that, that is the budget in summary. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brown. We're now going to go over the ad valorem funds, and I'd like to start by saying that there are 5 ad valorem funds which will be discussed: the general fund, the MSTU, the transportation fund, the emergency services district, and the land acquisition bonds. But we're going to go through these funds one by one, starting with the general fund. The proposed millage for the general fund is 3.5475, and is 7.97% above the rollback rate of 3.2856. The proposed budget is $98,852,233. I'll now open up to the public for any comments. Anybody from the comment wish to speak on the general fund budget? There being none, come on up, please. Name and address for the record, please.
My name is Lou April, and I'm with the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store, where we help people with utility bills and putting people in hotels and things like that. My question is in reference to where you're constantly being referred to from the EOC and the Treasure Coast Homeless Society that they have no funds. So I'm trying to inquire is the EOC, that's the Economic Council on 25th Street, 14th Avenue, is that part of your funding? And why don't they have funds? And why does the Treasure Coast homeless have no funds? They have to refer to us. So far this month, I spent $25,000 just helping people with utility bills and motels.
I'll let Jason answer that one.
I will say we do fund the Treasure Coast Homeless Services Council. We have an amount, it's about $20,000 in the general fund that helps support their administration. And what they do is they get various federal grants to assist with housing needs. And so those are pass-through grants that we get as the county, and we pass those through. So we do fund the Treasure Coast Homeless
They
Services.
don't help people with utility bills and things like that then?
They typically help with the rent assistance, but there is a provision for utilities in some of those programs. We also do have County Human Services where we provide funding for electric utility assistance.
That brings up another problem. Human Services, you're required to go there the last Friday of the month. People have to wait online at 2 o'clock in the morning to get an appointment for the next month. So they get very little funds from that organization. They're being constantly referred to us.
Right, we do have limitations. You can only get your electric bill paid every so often, like once a
Correct.
year or
You only
something
do
like
it once
that.
a year.
Yeah.
So I didn't get the number. How much does Treasure Coast get for the whole year?
It's $15,270.
That's for the whole year.
Right.
Do that in 2 weeks.
But they also get private contributions, as we encourage all of our nonprofits to get private contributions. We don't want them wholly dependent on us. And there are several $100,000 a year in HUD grants that flow through the county because the county has to be the applicant for those, but that the Homeless Services Council utilizes.
I'm wondering, is everybody aware of what a serious problem we have in the county with people who need help with utility bills, homeless people that we have to put up in a hotel, they have no place to go? Are they aware of this serious problem in our county? I guess
To a
not.
degree, we're all worried about it, but
Huh?
to a degree, we're all worried about it, but there's only so many tax dollars that we put towards that. And a lot of the things we rely on in this community are the nonprofits.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the public? There being none, be happy to get a motion to approve the millage rate.
Go ahead and make a motion to approve the millage rate 3.5475, which is 7.97% above the rollback rate of 3.2856, and to adopt the millage resolution.
We've got a motion from Commissioner O'Brien, second by Commissioner Adams. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 5-0. Now be happy to have a motion to approve the dollar amount and adopt the budget resolution.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the dollar amount and adopt the budget resolution. The dollar amount for the proposed budget is $98,852,233.
We've got a motion to approve the budget from Commissioner Fleischer, second by Commissioner Adams. Any other comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 5-0. We'll now move on to the MSTU. The proposed millage is 1.1506 and is 12.31% above the rollback rate of 1.0245. The proposed budget is $34,416,707. I'll now ask if there's anybody in the public who'd like to speak on the MSTU budget. Anyone from the public on the MSTU budget? There being none,
Mr. Chairman, make a motion to approve the millage rate of 1.1506, which is 12.31 above the rollback rate of 1.0245, and to adopt the millage resolution.
Second.
we've got a motion from Commissioner O'Brien, second by Commissioner Fleischer. Any other questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 5-0. We will now move to the Transportation
Yep,
Fund.
Mr.
Mr. Chairman,
I'm sorry,
I'd like to
make
make
the
a
motion to
motion
approve the
to-
dollar amount and adopt the budget resolution.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the dollar amount and adopt the budget resolution. And the dollar amount for the budget is $34,416,707.
We've got a motion by Commissioner Fleischer, second by Commissioner Adams. Any other comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 5-0. Now move to the Transportation Fund, where there is no millage. The proposed budget is $17,616,405. I'll open it for public comments.
Mr. Chairman, I think there's somebody here that might want to ask a question about if there's gas tax included.
Come on up, Joan.
So,
Name and address for the record, please.
Joan Johnson, and in the tradition of you-know-who, Coral Wind subdivision. Thank you for this opportunity. And Bob always did get up and ask if there was any gas tax going to be included in this, and he was a sort of a guardian of that. In case you're wondering how he got started, I mean, he came to meetings for 20 years. He was on the Taxpayers Association, and he was secretary, and the officers were assigned various government meetings to cover, and this was his. And when he went off taxpayers, he just continued to come. So he and Jim Granzi and then Lou April have been at this a long, long time. And I thank you all for being courteous and respectful to Bob when he was here. Thank you. Oh, and if you're curious as to how many people watch this, total strangers would come up to us and say, I know you. Bob Johnson, Coral Wind Subdivision. People do watch these meetings. Thank you.
Well, Joan, to answer your question, there is gas tax in this budget, but not the additional 5-cent tax.
The Elms nickel.
There you go.
We'll just call that Bob's nickel from now on, I guess.
Anyone else from the public? There being
Mr.
none?
Chairman, make a motion to adopt the Transportation Fund budget of $17,616,405
The motion to approve is by
in the budget resolution.
Commissioner O'Brien. The second is by Commissioner Adams. Any other comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 5-0. Moving on to the Emergency Services District. The proposed millage is 2.3655 and is a 5.22% above the rollback rate of 2.2481. The proposed budget is $42,203,283. I'll open it up now for public comment. One more time for public comment on the Emergency Services District. There being none,
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Fleischer.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the millage rate and adopt the millage resolution. The proposed millage rate is 2.3655 and is 5.22% above the rollback rate of 2.2481.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Fleischer, second by Commissioner Zork. Any other questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 5-0. We'll now go to
Mr.
land.
Chairman,
Bob, to make the motion to approve the
Like to
dollar
make-
amount and adopt the budget resolution.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the dollar amount and adopt the budget resolution. The dollar amount of the budget is $42,203,283.
Motion by Commissioner Fleischer, second by Commissioner O'Brien. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 5-0. Moving on to land acquisition bonds, the 2004 referendum. There is no rollback rate applied to this, but the proposed millage is .2568, and the proposed budget amount is $4,551,103. I'll now open it up for any public comments. Anybody from the public wish to speak on this? There being none, be happy
Mr.
to.
Chairman, make a motion to approve the millage rate of .2568 and the adopted millage resolution.
Second.
We've got a motion by Commissioner O'Brien, second by Commissioner Fleischer. Any questions or comments? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Now we have.
Chairman?
Yes, Commissioner Zork.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve the dollar amount and adopt a budget resolution. The proposed budget amount is $4,551,103.
Second.
We've got a motion by Commissioner Zork, seconded by Commissioner Fleischer. Any questions or comments? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0.
Aggregate.
I'm now going to read the aggregate millage, but reminding people that this is a theoretical aggregate. Don't expect to see this amount anywhere on your tax bill. The proposed millage is 6.1192, and is 7.48% above the rollback rate of 5.6932. We're now going to move on to the solid waste disposal district budget, the non-ad valorem special district. I will now go over the various rates. It's $75.56 per residential waste generation unit, which comes to $120.90 per house. It's a 3.5% increase from the current year. There's a $42 charge per commercial waste generation unit, which is a 3.7% increase from the current year. Readiness to use fee is $24.69, which is 0.4% increase from the current year. The proposed budget is $16,237,578. I'll now ask if there's anybody from the public who would wish to speak on this budget or the millage rate. One more time for the public. There be none.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion to adopt a resolution to approve the non-ad valorem residential and commercial waste generation unit charges and readiness to use fee as you read into the record.
Second.
Thank you. The motion by Commissioner O'Brien, the second is by Commissioner Fleischer, but I have one question of my fellow commissioners. I'm just curious. Jason talked about the other $50 that's not on this because of the changes. I'm just wondering, since everybody's received their trim notices, if anybody got calls or questions about that extra $50, any of my fellow commissioners,
I got one email.
okay?
One phone call.
Okay, and
There was one letter to the editor about it, I saw that, and I think I got one email regarding that.
I had nothing that I recall. So I think for me, it's a note that this wasn't anything which I would say caused great angst with the people of Indian River County. I don't know if it's because they really understood what we were doing and the problems, we were having. That's up in the air, but I find it somewhat significant that the $50 charge was on the trim notice and it didn't generate much of the way of any response.
And
Mr. Brown?
I did get one call, and I think you probably would have had a conversation about this, Mr. Chairman, on a Sunday morning walk, based on the call that I got, but that's the only call I got.
Okay.
as it was happening, as the motion was made that week, I did get quite a bit of conversation. But once that was turned around after the initial budget hearing, I did get that one call, and they actually answered the question before they even called. So it's a testament that, what Joan Johnson said, that people do watch, and they did clearly understand. So thank you.
Okay, I just wanted to capture some of that information when we had the chance. We have the motion by Commissioner O'Brien, second by Commissioner Fleischer. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Passes 5-0. Now be happy to get a motion to adopt the budget resolution.
To adopt the budget resolution?
Second.
The motion by Commissioner O'Brien, the second by Commissioner Fleischer. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Passes 5-0. I will note just for the record that once again, the right's doing all the work. Luckily, the vice chairman sits to the left, so something will be done by the other side. Commissioner Adams, if you would please, the proposed charges for the non-ad valorem assessment districts.
Here's the balance.
Again, it's my time to try to shine, so here we go. All right, it's my pleasure to read the non-ad valorem assessment charges. Vera Lake Estates MSBU, $50 per parcel acre. East Gifford Stormwater MSBU, $10 per parcel acre. Oceanside Street Paving MSBU, $415 per lot. Street Lighting Districts, Gifford, $23 per parcel acre. Laurelwood, $36 per parcel acre. Rock Ridge, $7 per parcel acre. Vero Highlands, $36 per parcel acre. Porpoise Point, $10 per parcel acre. Laurel Court, $39 per parcel acre. Tierra Linda, $39 per parcel acre. Vero Shores, $24 per parcel acre. Exora Park, $20 per parcel acre. Royal Point Sienna, $39 per parcel acre. Roseland, $1 per parcel acre. Whispering Pines, $16 per parcel acre. Moorings, $9 per parcel acre. Walker's Glen, $20 per parcel acre. Glendale Lakes, $40 per parcel acre. Floralton Beach, $46 per parcel acre. West Wabasso, $21 per parcel acre. Oceanside, $51 per lot. Oslo Park, $15.68 per lot.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Adams. Anybody from the public wish to speak on the proposed charges? There being none, there are no proposed amendments to recalculate, so I'll be happy to get a motion to adopt the resolution to approve the non-ad valorem assessment charges.
So moved.
Second.
Very good, Commissioner Adams. Excellent, well done. With an assist from somebody else on the left, that is impressive. You guys have the non-ad valorem assessment charges down. As a matter of fact,
I was having to hold Commissioner Fleischer back over here,
yes.
just to give you that opening, you know.
Thank
that-
you.
that-
I mean,
that was
that's
good.
really the hard part.
so that's how we know that this is a team job, this Board of County Commissioner stuff. Excellent, well done. We'll move.
Did you want to vote on that?
We have the motion by Commissioner Adams, second by Commissioner Zork. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Now it's official.
Passes 5-0. I'd now like to go over the non-ad valorem dollar budgets, and I'll read them out. The special revenues funds is $24,573,800. Other debt service fund, $500,000. Capital projects, $32,360,215. Enterprise funds, $59,186,086. Internal service funds, $37,227,725. Be happy to get any comments from the public. Any comments from the public? There are none. Be happy to get a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Fleischer.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the budget resolution for items 1 through 5.
We've got the motion by Commissioner Fleischer, second by Commissioner Zork. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Very well done. At this time, I'd like to thank the Budget Department for another job well done. I'll give them the credit for how well and smoothly this all went, to their good work.
Yes.
And with a little assist from the has-been Budget Director, who's now the County Administrator. And with that, we are adjourned.